Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach the Gear Guy, OGE, coming back at you with another predictions video. But tonight, we are talking about an AEW pay-per-view, AEW Dynasty 2024. Of course, as you can see there. Of course, before we get into the predictions, of course, like, comment, subscribe, and also let me know in the comments section your predictions for AEW Dynasty. I am looking forward to this pay-per-view, as it is banger after banger after banger here tonight. But for those of you that don't know, these are my thoughts, my predictions, my raw reactions to the card. Of course, as you can tell, we are going to do 0 hour, and then we are going to go through the entire pay-per-view cards. And also, this is not in show order. I've tried my best to make it as in show order as possible, but these are actually how they were released to us on media via AEW. So here we go. First off, we are starting with 0 hour, as the AEW Trios titles are, as the AEW Trios and the ROH 6-man tag team titles are on the line, as the AEW Trios champions, the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass, aka Billy Gunn, take on Bullet Club Gold, the reigning and defending ROH Tag Team Champions, i.e. Jay White and Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn. And of course, I guess Juice Board will be making his appearance as well. But this match is very special in the eyes of many, as this is a winner-takes-all match. Whew. Of course, last night, if you watched, well, spoiler alert if you have not seen the media footage, or for some whatever reason you didn't watch the back-to-back Collision and Rampage. On Collision last night, Jay White helped Austin Gunn pull off a upset victory over the Acclaimed. But I bet with all these men and how talented Bullet Club Gold is right now, or primarily what they've done, on paper you could say the Acclaimed have a distinct advantage in winning this. But me personally, I think Bullet Club Gold takes both, takes it all here, and they have like a nice reign as both AEW and ROH 6-man tag team champions. Continuing on 0 hour, we have Orange Cassidy and Katsuyori Shibata taking on Shane Taylor Promotions members Lee Moriarty and Shane Taylor, of course representing Shane Taylor Promotions. And I do believe Anthony Ogogo, one of my favorites in the sport, very underutilized, will be at ringside for this one. But if I'm going to give the advantage, I'm probably going to say, with recently Trent leaving Best Friends for some unknown reasons, and he didn't really explain himself all that much to the AEW audience just yet, I will say that Lee Moriarty and Shane Taylor get the win here tonight. Also, speaking of Trent will be in action as Trent Beretta takes on Matt Sydal. Easy pick for me is Trent Beretta wins this one, hands down. Next up, now going into the actual pay-per-view card itself, we have the FTW Championship Title Match, as Hook, your reigning and defending FTW champion, takes on the Learning Tree, the Wizard, the Demogod, the Painmaker himself, Chris Jericho. Now, I know a lot of people want Hook to win this, and I know Hook's probably going to win. But Jericho is a learning tree. And he knows how good Hook is. So I'm probably going to go Hook on this one. Because, you know, if Hook has always been a loner since day one, you know. He's had the occasional tag teams of, you know, Danhausen, Orange Cassidy, etc. He's been here and there. But having Hook as FTW champion, that's always been Taz's belt throughout the ECW days. But, boy, it would be Upset Jones, as Taz always would say, if Chris Jericho won the belt tonight. But I'm going Hook on this one. Next up, we have a trios tag team match as the TNT champion, Adam Copeland, the Rated R Superstar, the ROH champion, Mark Briscoe, and the New Japan Strong Openweight champion, Eddie Kingston, team together as one, as the Rated R Chicken Hawks, taking on, of course, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, the House of Black. And I'm definitely certain that Julia Hart will be here at ringside, and we'll get to Julia in just a moment, I do believe. But a lot of people are speculating that they're going to go to the other channel, the House of Black. But I think what Malachi Black wants is not just the TBS title in the House of Black. I think he wants a singles championship for himself. So I'm going to go House of Black here for this one. Next up, we have an International Championship Title match as former Undisputed Era / Undisputed Elite member Kyle O'Reilly, coming off of a 2-year injury, takes on Rodrick Strong of the Undisputed Kingdom for that International Championship. Obviously, with Kyle O'Reilly coming back, it's been a while since I've seen him on TV. So, naturally, you want to make, you know, with the whole devil thing and probably MJF coming back relatively soon, I hope so. Because we need this devil storyline finished in the best way possible. That is, of course, MJF Adam Cole. But that will be sooner down the line, as both men are currently out on injury. But for me to say this, sorry, just grabbing my pen here. I will say I will give the advantage to Rodrick Strong winning this one. But this is going to be a great match here. So I'm going Rodrick Strong. We have the Continental Classic Championship on the line as the Bastard Pack, a former international champion and a former trios champion himself, takes on Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, who is your current reigning and defending Continental Classic champion. And I do believe that Okada came in and beat Eddie Kingston for it in very short order. So this is another one of those matches that is going to be a classic. And I mean, I'm talking banger after banger. So I mean, you've got the Rated R Chicken Hawks, House of Black, Kyle O'Reilly, Rodrick Strong. Following this one up, I mean, besides besides the AEW World Title Match and the ladder match for the tag team titles, I think this one right here, the Continental Classic, is and of course Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson. Outside of those four, I think this one is possibly the number 5 contender for match of the night. But I do not see Okada. I do not see Pac winning. Sorry. I do not see Pac winning the Continental Classic Championship tonight. He's going to put on a banger of a match. I like when Pac comes back and does like very few matches and then heads out for obvious reasons, but Okada is just has so much momentum ahead of him. So I'm going Okada on this one. Next up we have the AEW Women's World Championship match as timeless Toni Storm takes on her challenger, La Mera Mera, Thunder Rosa. Man, oh man. Thunder Rosa, of course, you can go back, if you have any of your spare time, definitely check out my channel. Thunder Rosa, I got to interview her once on episode 1 of the Gear Logs. It was an amazing interview. It's a shame that, technical issues ensued, but oh boy, she is such a nice person, is Thunder Rosa. Anybody that has met her before or knows about Thunder Rosa knows how good of a wrestler she is, knows how good of a person outside the ring she is. But she is also a former Women's World Champion for AEW, and she had to relinquish it due to injury, which thus made Toni Storm the interim champion, and then it got passed on to Jamie Hayter, who was interim till Thunder Rosa returned, but she wasn't going to make it back in time, so they just decided to call OG Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter both women's champion, and ended Thunder Rosa's reign a bit too early. Now, I will give Toni Storm, and spoiler alert for those who don't like behind-the-scenes stuff, RJ City, who's one of the writers for Timeless Toni Storm, their credit, because Toni Storm is doing a phenomenal job as Timeless Toni Storm. But what I want to see happen, I know won't happen, but I want to see Thunder Rosa get her destiny made and regain what she lost, and that is that Women's World Championship. So I'm thinking new champion here. I'm thinking Thunder Rosa is going to win it. Then we get into something a bit more interesting. We have the AEW Tag Team Ladder Match as the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, take on FTR. Now, ever since Sting retired, which, thank you, Sting, for that legendary career, this is the better way to do it, is a ladder match for those titles. Now, I know the Young Bucks had to air that, sorry about that, but the Young Bucks had to air that all-in footage, which I think it's time to move on from that incident. Yes, some stuff was said, some stuff was done, but here's what I'm thinking. You see one of those figures in the corner? Right here, that is a Jungle Boy figure. I honestly think that ever since Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, ever since All in London, he's been exiled to New Japan to get a lot learned. Learn and grow. Kind of spread his wings with this whole scapegoat thing because he never really did anything wrong. Now, I'm not meaning to sound tribalistic, but, if you watched All in London, you probably felt this as well. When Jack Perry said, "Cry Me a River," you knew who that was directed towards, but nevertheless, I think he and Hangman Page, or maybe he and Kota Ibushi or Kenny Omega, return tonight in some way, and we either get heel Hangman Page and heel Jack Perry back in AEW. If not, it might just be Jack Perry. Or heck, it could be the debut of the Motor City Machine Guns for all I know, but heck, I mean, I'm sorry, but I honestly don't buy this EVP gimmick at all. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I would like FTR to win, but something inside me is saying that the EVPs are going to take it. Next up, we have the TBS title match. And that is Willow Nightingale taking on Julia Hart. Now, this is a house rules match. And I do believe the stipulation for tonight was that Sky Blue will be banned from ringside for this match, which if it is a good call by Willow Nightingale to get that done. But also it could lead for probably the biggest, either A, payoff very smartly, because Mercedes Moné is challenging at Double or Nothing, mind you. And also, you can have Chris Statlander out there to help you, or you can have her out there to hurt you, Willow, and help Julia as well, because, God, there are just so many ways I could see this going. But I'm going to go with Willow Nightingale. For some reason, I can see Willow Nightingale taking this one, and then having the rubber match of Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing, because Mercedes was supposed to win that New Japan Women's Championship, but lost due to injury, and Willow took it from her. So I'm going to go Willow Nightingale here. I think we crown a new TBS champion tonight. Next up, this one's a hard one to call, because you have two men from two previous, and I'm calling this probably the co-main event because I hope they do two main events where it's this one or the title match first, like how they did Double or Nothing 2020, where it was the title match first, then an off-brand match as the main event. Kind of similar to the Stadium Stampede match and Brody Lee versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. But if it has to come to a co-main event, I can't think of one better than Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. Of course, this is Danielson's last year as a full-time wrestler, meaning that Danielson will go into semi-retirement. He's not fully retired, but he will be on and off, wrestling after this year. So when I saw this one back and this takes us all the way back to Duluth, Georgia, I believe. When Dynamite got that refurb and that brush of newness, or basically re-identified itself. shall I say. But, no doubt about it, this is going to be one of those matches where I need no interference whatsoever. This is going to be a generational classic, as the kids would say. But, whew, I'm torn. Part of me wants Bryan Danielson to win, but then yet again, I kind of want to see Will Ospreay take this one. It's just that these two have never crossed paths before, and it's going to be hard to predict. But I think, in the end, ultimately, knowing that All In is going to be in London, you gotta have Will Ospreay challenge for the title. That world title. Right there. Sooner rather than later. So I'm gonna have Will Ospreay fulfill his destiny. Or dynasty, as they say across the pond. And beat Bryan Danielson. That is going to be my prediction for tonight. Then it's time for the main event, the AEW World Title Match. So that belt right up there. Where's that? Pointing. Right there. Swerve Strickland versus Samoa Joe. Now, this is where it gets really messy. Because we already have Swerve Strickland in the game. If you don't know, AEW's released a console game, AEW Fight Forever. And a little unknown fact about me, Zach the Gear Guy, of course, OGE, is I love that game to death. We already have Swerve Strickland in the game, but Samoa Joe's coming out May 8th. Which I highly recommend buying that DLC when it drops. Now, Swerve can claim, and I can make this assumption here, that had Hangman Page not tapped out or passed out to Samoa Joe, whichever way you want to look at it, I think Hangman tapped. So, had Hangman Page not tapped out of that hold, Swerve Strickland could have become the new AEW champion at Revolution. But now Swerve Strickland is in there on his own against Samoa Joe. And Swerve Strickland and everybody else, like, if we, like, I could sum it up the long way, but I'm going to sum it up the short way for you. If we do not put the belt on Swerve Strickland right now, today, what are we doing? Because you've got the hottest guy in the ring right now going up against Samoa Joe. You've got the hottest manager in Prince Nana doing the swerve when you drive, yeah, swerve when you drive, and the we in the money. I mean, come on. What more could you possibly want as your world champion? And also, the fact that if Swerve Strickland beats Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship tonight, he would be the first African American world champion in AEW. So, no doubt about it, I am going to go for Swerve Strickland to be the new AEW World Champion. So real quickly, I'm going to run down my picks for tonight's Dynasty. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass versus Bullet Club Gold. Both companies' trios titles on the line. I'm going Bullet Club Gold. Orange Cassidy and Shibata versus Shane Taylor Promotions. I am going to go with Shane Taylor Promotions. Trent Beretta versus Matt Sydal, going Trent Beretta. Hook versus Jericho, going Hook. Rated R Chicken Hawks versus House of Black. I'm going House of Black. International title match. I'm going Kyle O'Reilly versus Rodrick Strong, going Rodrick Strong here. Pac Continental Crown. Pac Okada. I'm going Okada. AEW Women's Title Match. Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa. I am going Thunder Rosa. AEW Tag Team Ladder Match for the Tag Team titles. I am going... My heart wants FTR, but I am going relentlessly EVPs with a heel Hangman or heel Jack Perry return. TBS Title Match. Willow Nightingale, Julia Hart. I am obviously going to go Willow Nightingale here. Ospreay versus Danielson. I could call this one equal, but I am going to go Will Ospreay, bruv. And then Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe. I am going to go Swerve Strickland. This has been your AEW Dynasty predictions. I want you to leave yours in the comment section down below. Definitely let me know. And I will see you in the next video.